Hi, hello, and welcome to the Energy of the Week. My name is Winona. Hi, how are you? How are you doing? How was your lunar eclipse in Virgo this past week? Also, Mercury went retrograde on March 15th, and that was this past Saturday. So, how's that feeling? There has been so many things that have happened. Accidents and terrible news and breakthroughs, actually. A lot of very major and dramatic energy and occurrences have happened in this past week alone. And it was a really shocking week. How was your week? Let me know what's happened to you. Let me know what's happened in your world, and let's get into this reading. We are going to do a reading for March 17th to March 23, 2025. I'll also say that the spring solstice is happening. Pisces season is ending and Aries season is starting on March 20th, this next Thursday. That's coming. And a lot of things are changing. A lot of endings, a lot of new beginnings. And it feels very, I don't know, sometimes in some cases, it feels very unfair. It feels exhausting, overwhelming. This new beginning really feels like a birth, and for some people it may feel really painful. And there are things that are being left behind that maybe we don't want to leave behind. And it's been crazy. It's been a crazy time. So I'm going to start shuffling, and we're going to start with Monday. Okay, so Monday starts with the Queen of Pentacles. And so on Monday, we are focused on our relationships, on our finances, on taking care of our home, taking care of our material world, and really nurturing these things, nurturing our relationships, nurturing ourselves, taking care of ourselves, and also, if we have the energy, take care of others. And this is a start to not be distracted and get really grounded. But there are a lot of distractions that are around. With the Seven of Cups on the bottom of the deck, there can be this feeling of there are a lot of things to attend to, but most of this is around our home life. Most of this is around our most important connections, and also feeling prepared. This feels this is about what I'm seeing is like people stepping up. This is a time to level up, to become responsible, to be that adult, to take on the role, to take on the lead, and perform is what I'm hearing. And it's like performing your duties, performing what's necessary, doing what's necessary, out of love, out of duty and obligation, but also out of really caring for these things. All right, so let's go on to Tuesday. Okay, so Tuesday we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So there is this insecurity that's coming in. Insecurity, and this could even be talking about debt, what our debts are. And also, these are the cards that are appearing. I'm also seeing, so on the bottom of the deck, we have the Devil, the Seven of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, and the Six of Cups. And these are things from the past. So this could be just feeling like there is not enough, that we are tapping into our savings, tapping into resources on Tuesday, and we're looking at that and feeling like we have to use it. I'm also hearing the phrase biting off more than you can chew, or you bit off more than you could chew in some area. and having to spend the money, having to spend the energy. This has to do with toxic behaviors from the past. It's like going back into a mode that you don't really want to, that you didn't really want to do. I'm gonna draw a card on this specifically. Okay, Four of Pentacles in reverse. Let's expand on that. Okay. Yes, definitely. It brought Six of Cups again, but with the Knight of Pentacles. And one of the first things I heard was shopping. Like discretionary spending is what they're saying. And also retail therapy. So it's like it's kind of giving like if you like things are not feeling great and so you kind of splurge, and it's not, that's not good, but it feels good in the moment. It's like putting this is the image they're giving me. It's like putting a tiny band-aid on a large wound. And I'm really feeling like some of us are hurting on Tuesday, and there's just this desire to kind of bandage it up with resources that we don't have. And it's tough. It doesn't feel like it could be the largest amount of money, but it kind of stings a little bit, and it may just as a forewarning, it may like take more time to recover that money and repay it. Okay. That was interesting. All right, let's go into Wednesday. Wednesday. So, Four of Swords. One of the words I'm hearing is hangover. And going into this from the Four of Pentacles reverse, this could be that slight regret about spending a little bit more than we had, spending a little bit more than we know we should have, and not being totally responsible. But now, like, taking a rest, now taking a break from that and recovering, right? So we have the King of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, and this is doing what we have to do, right? This is about resettling, getting back into routine, recovering, and resting. For some people, actually I'm hearing travel on Wednesday, having to go somewhere. This could also be a vacation. If some of you are already on vacation, perhaps it's even like spending too much, and maybe having thought that we had the money that we didn't have. This like message keeps repeating. Traveling and spending to hide the hurt, to ease the pain. Okay. All right. So Wednesday, resting. And now we are going on to Thursday. Man, this energy keeps coming up. It's repeating. So Thursday, we have the Seven of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. And this is that lack mentality. This is the feeling of survival mode, of having to scrounge up what you can. And I'm also getting, on the flip side, the ultra message is someone is making a change and maybe feeling like they are abandoning someone in order to save themselves, in order to take care of themselves. And it can feel like abandonment. It can feel like you've been abandoned. Either you've been betrayed, you can feel some kind of betrayal by someone, or somebody, or you may feel like you are betraying someone by going your own way. But on Thursday, someone is feeling left out in the cold. And this could be a kind of unhealthy relationship. I'm also hearing the term people pleaser. Like people pleasing is a past issue, a past bad habit that you fought with. Like, you may not actually be abandoning anybody, but can feel like it. Like, standing up for yourself can feel like it can feel like you're abandoning someone. But people pleasing is actually self-abandonment, because you're not truly being honest at times with yourself. Not truly behaving how you would. You're behaving in a way in order to manipulate other people, in order to get a response that you want. And it is so Thursday we're talking about struggles. We're talking about, like, I'm really getting like mental struggles that you've dealt with, and I'm hearing you are breaking free from them. You are breaking free, but it is tough. And so there is like this change. There's this freedom in what you're doing and your actions, but it can feel like painful. It can feel exhausting, and it's what I keep hearing, like, you're not abandoning anybody. You're not abandoning anybody. Do not abandon yourself. Do not abandon yourself. And do not abandon yourself. Right, Thursday we just talked about is the spring solstice. And so there's this change that's happening this week. There's this moving on from the past, moving on from the past self. But it's just not an easy task, okay? So let's go on to Friday. And you know what? I'm actually going to pull a card for Thursday, just for that energy. What is it about? What are you really moving on from? You're moving on from struggles. You're moving on from struggles. You're moving on from family. You are moving on from something that's been around for a long time. You are liberating yourself from an old establishment, it's what they're showing me is like interesting with this Ten of Pentacles. What they're showing me is like a building. I'm almost getting the Tower energy. It's like a building that's been standing there for a long time, like an institution. Like there's something that's been in your life it's been around forever almost, and now you're walking away from it. Now you are changing. Now you're doing what's best for you. And it can feel like something is collapsing. Okay. Back to Friday. So Friday we have the Seven of Cups, and can feel distracted Friday. We can feel like, our heads in the clouds, that we are doom scrolling, or that we are kind of dissociating on Friday. Yes, we are thinking about the future. We're thinking about what's next, what comes after this, like the collapse of things, struggling, feeling like there's some kind of lack, like there's not enough. Like, what can I do? I'm hearing, right? So it's like brainstorming. So there's a lot of brainstorming that's going on Friday. Like, what fulfills me? Where am I going? What do I decide? Like, there's a desire for a choice, but no choice just yet. And that's Friday. So we're going to go on to Saturday. Man, the devil keeps coming up in this reading on the bottom of the deck. Something wants to hold you back. There's just this energy of like wanting to, it's like the past wants to keep pulling you back. The bad news wants to keep pulling you back. Really unhealthy habits that you have been trying to move on from are trying to bring you back. Procrastination, people. We are in a Venus and Mercury retrograde, and so I have noticed that too. That there are people from the past that creep up, that you've left behind, and even when you're trying to change, like the old self, the old you, things that you used to do before that you don't want to do anymore, may try to lure you back in. And so there's just this energy of distraction. And this week is like, can you break the chain? Can you change? Can you leave these things behind? Okay, and so for Saturday, we have the Knight of Wands. And this is moving forward without looking, taking a leap of faith and taking a chance. And there's a strong energy moving forward. It's very powerful. With the devil being here, there is the sense of moving forward with power, moving forward with conviction, with desire. I'll also say, I'll mention the devil here. It may be that you're not moving, although you may be moving with focus. It doesn't, the motivations behind what you're moving towards may not be fully in integrity. And so just to think about that, to reflect on that, knowing these things in advance should help with what you decide in the future. And Saturday, when you take action, are you aligned? Are your actions aligned with who you want to be? Are they aligned with the future that you desire? And really checking, are we acting out of the old version of ourselves? Are we acting in integrity with ourselves? Or are we just doing things because they feel good in the moment and we're not thinking about what the consequences of our actions are going to be? Okay, so let's go on to Sunday. Okay. Sunday. There's so many cards I want to pop out for Sunday. So there's an increase in energy this next Sunday. So we have the 5 of Wands here. There is this fighting for growth, fighting to change, working to change. I'm hearing family squabbles. I'm hearing conflict, father figure, bitches. It's people that are trying to shake you, events that are trying to shake you, disruption. We have the 8 of Swords on the bottom of the deck here, and this feeling of being trapped, right? This feeling of what can I do? And I've seen this card pop up as I've been shuffling today, and yes, there is this feeling of cocoon. It's a cocoon energy is what this entire reading is giving. It's like cocoon. It's like the struggle of growth, the struggle of whatever capsule we're in right now. And there's just so much pain, and there's so much doubt. There is challenges. We are facing challenges this week. Sometimes it is outside and it's also inside. And sometimes the outside challenges, they shake us. They shake us into places that we thought we had left behind. And at some point we come out new. But there is this struggle right now. And it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough week. It's important that this week that you nurture yourself, that we nurture ourselves. We take breaks as necessary, and try to think clearly. Try to think of your future. Try to think of your future version. And there is this feeling like, what is the future? Uncertainty. There's so much uncertainty in this reading. So, you know what? And with that, we're going to go into the overall theme. But we're going to talk about what advice we have as well. So let's go into the overall theme and then an advice card. Okay, yeah, overall theme. We have everything is fine, the 10 of Swords on the bottom of the deck. And we have the 7 of Wands. And that's the card of fighting for yourself. I'm hearing fighting for your life, but it's a little too extreme. Fighting for your authenticity. There are haters, is what I'm hearing. There are people around you and events that are trying to shake you, trying to challenge you, trying to see who are you, who are you really in the midst of struggle, in the midst of everything falling apart and collapsing. At the core, where are you? Who are you? What do you do? Maybe some of the things that we do this week is not exactly what we wanted to do. Maybe it shows a side of ourselves that makes us sympathetic to people that we don't like. Because even though we might say that we want to be our best, sometimes we don't always act in our best, as our best selves. And seeing that, kind of unveiling unveiling a truth about ourselves, unveiling a very true thing about humanity. And there's this struggle, there's this survival, and there's endings. There's an ending this week. So let's go into advice. Just like advice card from Spirit. Okay. Interesting. So we have the Hanged One on the bottom of the deck. And the 10 of Cups in reverse, right? And every reversal comes into the upright eventually. And this is about patience. This is about patience and waiting. One thing I wanted to mention that just came up now so clearly about the Hanged One. This journey is like such a spiritual one. It feels like a very being hanged. So think about this, being hung upside down. Like you see this person and they look like they're just kind of chilling, but it's painful. You know, being hung upside down and waiting is a really painful experience, but it's one of those things that those gurus or enlightened beings, right, that they go through. There's importance about how pain is a teacher, a very spiritual teacher, and how much you can learn. So, patience, meditation, looking within, and knowing things that are going to turn out okay. It may not feel okay right now. It may feel like everything is pouring out like a boat, like there's like a leak. But at the end of the day, to look into how can you fulfill yourself? How can you pour into yourself in some way when things are hard? To never forget yourself, to never forget you. And that is what we have. That is our reading. I think that's also for the overall theme of the week with the 7 of Wands is also about never forgetting yourself. So, okay, that is the reading. It felt a bit heavy. And it does feel like this next week, it may be kind of tough, but you know what? I'm here, you're here, we're here for each other, and we're going to get through this. Okay? So that is the reading. That's energy of the week. I hope this reading supported you in some way. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, the Divine. And I will see you next week. All right? Love you. Ciao.